Hi guys, welcome to another episode of World of Truck, and this time I'm playing the America version, American Truck Simulator. A lot of questions these days is to ask, should I buy or should I not buy? Should I buy now or should I buy later? I'm happy to help you out here because I've played this game for quite a bit, and I've also come from a background of Euro Truck Simulator 2, so I can understand the discussion from either side to buy or not to buy now or later. So just share my perspective from my point of view, and also from the game progress point of view. Happy that Red Panda United has hired 2 drivers, and I don't know, for some strange reason there aren't many female trucker in the America version. I don't know why. Just well, she's the first one that's appeared on my radar, and sort of I have to hire one person with only one agency, so that is Melanie. And then Ray is, if you recognize, remember he was from my Euro version of the Red Panda United, and he has happily took up the job because I say I need help, and he flew over to San Francisco from Cambridge in UK and joined me in this America side and start from zero again. Right, great stuff. And in terms of truck wise, because I've leveled up to level 6, it's still far away. I mean, this game is huge. It's a long journey. But I managed to sort of upgrade enough to get my, if you look at my trucks, and got my truck to 455 horsepower. I can't wait to see that in action, also with a larger fuel tank as well. I mean, using a 370 horsepower to pull a 20 or 40 tons kind of goods is really hard. So, but I got through that, so yeah. So in just a bit, I'm going to sort of show you some of the footage. But before I do that, this is the truck that I have. It's a Peterbilt. It's a beautiful truck. I got it upgraded, everything, the wheel and the and all the jets, and two little mirror like a mustache kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, I can't wait to sort of see it in action. And I'm going to just truck a little bit here and there, because I mean, this sort of video is meant to be for relaxation, not meant to stress you up. And as though you're just next to me while I'm talking to you, and just enjoy trucking. Alright, I'm here to pick up a job in Bakersfield. I believe it's somewhere in California. Don't really know the state really well. And the job is going to Tonopah, which is in I think it's Nevada. So, and looking forward to it, and also just talk a little bit more about the game. So right now I'm just focused here, trying to get the job. And I mean, look at this this part of the world. It looks really distinct. I mean, each city looks really distinct. I mean, you can really tell, when you pass one city to another, the differences and so on. So this is something I really enjoy, the American version, and I'll talk a little bit more about it as well, because it's sort of it's very important when it comes to whether you want to pick up this game or not, the kind of quality of detail that you want. I always stop short a little bit. Come on. Alright, so I'm going to pick up this job and to Tonopah, and the trip is only 371 miles. It should take about 9 hours or so. So I mean, all this information are very important, especially in the American version. So let me just grab these goods first, and I'll just talk a bit more about to buy or not to buy now or later kind of thing. Alright, just bear with me, try to get this right. Alright. Alright, so yeah, that's the thing. And usually the first thing I would like to do is check all the status. So have to pay attention to all these things. I'll be falling asleep in about 7 hours time, and I have about 9 hours. So in between, I will have to plan a little bit, because I will probably need to rest somehow. And so I think maybe somewhere here I probably would rest before, or here there's a rest station as well. So it's a few options. So it's important to plan ahead, because in this game, American version is huge. Alright, so I'm going to sort of start driving off and talk a little bit more about the game. So this is beautiful sunny California, and I'm heading to Tonopah, which is somewhere in I think Nevada. Let me know, you guys from America. And I'm just pulling this truck across to sort of just get my way through, and look at the kind of detail there. It's beautiful. So let me be careful a little bit, and let me watch. Oh, I think I can get through. All right, great stuff. So let me go. Yeah, I mean, just get to a main role. Then I start talking about the main theme of this episode, because I think for every episode I like to just have some theme to it. And so the main theme of this episode is really to buy or not to buy, buy now or buy later. So now, to buy or not to buy, I think that is an easier question to answer, because it really depends whether you like this sort of like simulation kind of game. I've tried to talk to my friends on about this game. I think some of them actually like, whoa, you mean I have to drive like an hour and a half on the road? And what is the fun of something that has no clear goal, or how to win a game? I say, well, it's not really winning a game. It's just a simulator. You define your own goal. I mean, you could explore every places, or you could owning a very successful truck company and so on. I mean that is really, you define your own goal. This is like a sandbox with all this realistic kind of like a location for you to play. But I mean that's the thing. I mean, it's not really for everybody. It's a very niche kind of like market. But for those of you who enjoy simulation games like I do, like City Builder or racing or whatnot, anything to do with simulating real life, it is something that is worth considering. I think it's one of the best simulator so far I've seen. It's really a class of its own. So do check it out. I mean, think about that. So I hope that sort of like answer the question like to buy or not to buy. Now, well, look at the oil rig on the side, man. Ooh. Are those oil rigs? Yeah, they are, right? Wow. So those of you from California, let me know. Do you see this sort of scenery in your day to day, or maybe may not be day to day, but it's a lot of like a lot of humps coming along. Wow, look at that, man. This is like quite rather interesting. I don't think I've seen something like that in Europe, or the Euro version, put it this way. Alright, there's a turn here. Let me just negotiate this thing. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's most likely a question on to buy or not to buy. But I think some of you probably thinking of to buy now or not to buy now, because I think at launch the game is a little bit light, in the sense that there are only 2 states and there's only 2 trucks for you to pick, the Kenworth and as well as the Peterbilt. And yeah, so it's a lot of like a lot of comment like well, it's basically a reskinning of the Europe version, and it feels like like a little bit of a rip-off with the price and so on. So I'd like to sort of like just talk a little bit more on that end, just to share from my perspective how I feel about this whole thing. Alright, so let me just again, a little bit concentration here. Yeah. Stop there. I find myself having to inch a little bit further up to see the road clearly. Alright, let me just get out of here. So yeah, I mean, let's talk about my background first, right? Because I've played the Euro Truck Simulator only recently, so I've got the luxury of not only the base game, but I got 2 of their DLC as well. And to me, the game was huge, because I've got to have so many cities to go around, and because the game has been around for a while, and the Europe Truck Simulator 2 was released back in January 2013, I think. And after that, they come out with one expansion with the Poland and Czech and Hungary, and going east. That one is also same year, but I think in September. And after that, they have come out with another, more recently, another one that's the one that is more on the Norway side, Sweden side, and the Denmark, which was just I think sometime last year. All right, so suffice to say, if I don't know any better, I look at just Euro Truck Simulator 2 without. Yeah, okay. When I hear the sound like that, usually it means 2 things: either I have to pay the loan, or get fined by speeding. So I was like, hey, hang on, I wasn't speeding. Yeah. So where was I? So I mean, if I don't know any better, of course, the Euro Truck Simulator is very rich in content. There are like 2 DLC and 1 base game together with all the bug fixes and patches and so on. But if you look at the trend, right, like the base game, the city of the base game versus the say the cities on the first expansion versus the city on the second expansion, is actually very like you can tell that it has more details inside. I try not to speed here as well. Yeah, it has a lot more detail inside, and you look at American Truck Simulator 2, it's even more detail on the map and so on. So in a way, I mean, I don't think it's fair to sort of like compare the American version as of now to the base version of Truck Simulator 2. 2 years ago or so, because the amount of detail, the amount of work that is required to recreate the world that is with the kind of authenticity. Every city kind of feel different, kind of every stretch of road. There's a lot of things that's going on, and I feel that they have done a very good job on that one. And so in a way, I do sort of like understand why people say that the map is kind of tiny. But in another way, I also feel that there's a lot more detail. I actually really enjoy some of this like detail being put into the game, the town and so on. But the reality is this, right? I mean, the map is actually a little bit small, I have to admit, and that's one of the drawbacks that you probably need to be aware of when you play this game. But it also have some like kind of quite a good effect as well, because like when I play the Euro Truck Simulator 2, although I spent 80 hours or 90 hours on it so far, I don't really I don't really recognize like a lot of places. I do recognize some places, but it's not like I'm trying to concentrate here. Yeah, it's not like I can go to one place to the other without sort of like referring to a map and so on. But in a way, the American version, I actually managed to sort of recognize some of the places. I can actually get to town, come back out, kind of like I know where are the places and so on. So yeah, in a way, I think that to me is pretty fun. All right, so I'm always like check whether I've damaged anything or not. So now I need to overtake this guy because it's hurting my progress, and I need to find a very good spot to do it without endangering myself too much, because sometimes there are actually trucks coming from the other side as well. So yeah, I mean, let's continue talking about that. Is that for America version, although there are roads that I travel a lot more, but I also find myself being able to recognize some of these places, which is good, because I become familiar with the map. What do you think? Holding my breath. Yeah, they actually give way when I do that, and it's great. All right, so yeah, I know I'm not supposed to. It's a double yellow line, but I'll talk a little bit about the game, about how they work. The time scaling is a little bit different from the Euro version, so I do have to sometimes take some risk. And by the way, let me just check something. In 2 hours time, I need to rest. So now it's in a kind of panic mode right now. So I think this is the part I shall sort of like head to rest. Otherwise, I may be in trouble. All right, just let's continue. So yeah, I mean, I like it. I like what I'm having so far, because I sort of like I start to know other places, and it's kind of cool that I kind of like know the map. And like I always say that sometimes in the daytime when you see all this scenery, and the nighttime is different as well, and where the sun lies is at the back or in the front or sideways, also give a different variety to the whole kind of like look of the game as well. So it's not like once I visit a city and that's it, I'm done. I don't really see it that way. I see more like when I'm familiar with it, when I'm able to see various little detail of it. yeah, then I call it like, you know, yeah, so I'm still exploring, I'm still enjoying myself, although I've already run up and down this road probably a couple of times. Alright, so yeah. You see, the guy is yawning. Yeah, it's just desert there. Am I crossing Nevada already? Yeah, some of these curves actually quite sharp as well. Alright, so 1 hour and 51 minutes I have to reach the rest point. So yeah, another point that I'd like to make is that the American version, I feel that everything's being spaced out a lot more. Unlike the European version, you know, I don't need to worry about finding a gas station or, you know, somewhere to rest, or I don't need to, like, you know, like a workshop just nearby and stuff like that. I mean, for American version, even if I'm going to like pick up something and, you know, like I want to go to the gas station versus the hotel or the motel, it could be another like 45 minutes drive or 1 hour. And in this game, it does cost quite a fair bit, because, you know, you only have like maybe 12-13 hours of like waking hours before your driver need to rest again. So in a way, everything seems, although the map is tiny, smaller, but everything seems a lot like bigger in the sense. Like I've been driving for so long, I couldn't even find a place to rest. In the European version, it will probably never happen that way. So yeah, I mean, that is one thing that that is very different between the European version and American version. And also, I mean, don't forget, a lot of us have who has played the European version a lot of time. You probably have built up a lot of like nice trucks and so on, and now here you have to start from zero again, and everything become very, very slow, and it's more like adjustment. I mean, you know, I can imagine you spend so many hours just playing the last game, and you become so excel in it, in your truck, in your cash flow and so on. And okay, so I need to hang on, I said 55 minutes. I'm really cutting it really close. So I need to somehow get to this place here and rest, and I will rest in here. Whoa. Okay, let me just stop here. So this is a rest area, and I think I just need to check this side. I don't know how this one works though. I think it's going to like let me just like rest area is there's an arrow there. I mean, all these are very new to me. I think I just like, can I just anyhow park here, or must I park in some special places? Okay, I can just park here. Great. This is America version. Alright, so I'll rest first, and after that I'll continue this video. Alright. Alright, welcome back, and now I'm well rested. Let me on the light, and okay, let me just okay, let me just get out from here. By the way, this is a nice new shop. Still, well, I don't think it's open. You just see a light there. I need to sort of like make a turn. I think that is where the main road is. A bit dark though. It's hard to see anything right now here. So I need to turn this side. And this side, I don't see anything, so let's go. Let's continue to Tonopah. All right, yeah. So yeah, I think in a way, I mean, maps aside and, you know, details aside, and gameplays aside, I think in a way I do find the American version actually more challenging than the European version, at least for me. Not only because it's a new kind of like traffic rules I need to sort of understand. There's a lot of speeding camera as well. Unlike the you know, European version, whereby you could just speed through many things and get away with it because they tell you where the speed cameras are. American version is not. It's very unforgiving as well. Even 1 mile per hour above it, you'll get it. So so in a way, it's kind of like a hard, but also more so. There's a lot heavier. The traffic's it's a lot more traffic. Sometimes you have to really test your patience to whether or not, you know, to cross the street or make a certain junction or not. And there's a lot of incident as well. I mean, I've seen like accident in the highway. You know, cars suddenly stop, and one time I couldn't stop in time, and just like ram into the car in front. It was pretty scary because so realistic. I actually jumped off my chair when that happened. So And you know, sometimes, you know, even when you signal and all, and you thought you have the right of way to do certain things, but you know, somehow it just happened that, okay, it's a red light. Okay, let me just focus a little bit here. So yeah, I mean, I've seen incident before, like even it was my right of way, and the truck would, I just got hit from the front for cars that's turning while I'm going straight. So incident like that, I mean, you know, I think it's a little bit real as well. Even when you know that you have the right of way, you have to be mindful of what's around you. So it is something that definitely I don't really see I mean, it's something that I seldom see in the other version, but in this version, definitely is something that is sort of like, you know, it's quite. I've seen it quite a couple of times. I need to jam brake in the freeway, and I could. Yeah, so I couldn't stop in time, and it was quite a bad thing that happened. So yeah, I mean, so this sort of thing I kind of appreciate a lot. And sometimes the cargo is really long as well. Maybe it's an American kind of thing compared to Europe one. It's different, and and also parking is very challenging. Some of this because of the length, and sometimes I have to deliver like the gas for the petrol station, and part of the road actually is like. Part of the road is actually outside the part of the, you know, space that you maneuver is actually outside at the open road like this. So there are cars that come by that will disturb your whole entire parking as well. It's kind of really hard to park and stuff like that. But I mean, I think that is also, you know, the reason why I like this one, because it's challenging. At least to me, I feel challenged. So let me just make sure I don't hit anything here. Do you think I can make it? Maybe I can. Yeah, just a little bit focus here. Yeah, and also because of the how time. Oh wow, it's raining. Let me on the wiper. Now, how the time actually moves faster on a highway or on the road whereby there's a high speed. You can see my time at that is actually going quite fast. Like, you know, when I'm on the road like this one, and and I found the American version go a little bit faster than the European version. I don't know why. Maybe they have this like, and they envisage one day they'll cover all the states in America, and it may become too long to even drive across America, Route 66. I don't know, that would be my dream. So somehow the American way is a little bit faster, and that make it a little bit more stressful as well, because, you know, sometimes you sort of like, even you drive a little bit slower, it may penalize you in some sense that you may unable to make the delivery on time. So it's something that I realized, and the wow, lightning as well, man. Okay. So yeah, in front is the one that I could. Oh, okay. Yeah. So here is the one that you probably have seen it in my last video as well. In the American version, you are actually given the choice to either do a, you know, easy way or hard way. This one is going to be pretty hard, 90 XP, but it's going to be really hard. So I'm not going to go through the whole parking because it may take a while depending on my sort of like performance. But yeah, let me continue at the reward screen. Okay. So through a lot of patience, I finally did it, and it was like you have to reverse park into this very tiny space until it sort of like fit into the container. And yeah, I mean, it took a while, a couple of minutes of time, but I kind of enjoyed that. And let's see my reward. Okay, so I've got like, you know, quite a handsome amount of XP. I mean, the XP actually pretty good for parking the truck. Another 90, so you know, it's actually very nice if you would like to level things up. And I think in closing, you know, I look at it this way. Why do I want to buy it now? Why would you want to consider buying it now? It's probably more like having a head start. Because I mean, even if this game was to sort of like have a lot of maps and so on, you still need to start from somewhere, and you still need to sort of like familiarize yourself with some location and so on. It is not going to bore you after like 6 hours. Like some people say, after 6 hours you discover all the cities. Well, I played this one more than 10 hours or so. I'm still really just scratching the surface of what I'm seeing right now. So you know, it is not like that. I mean, if you are really true spirit in terms of like an enjoying simulation kind of game, it's not something that you'll be satisfied just because you've been there once. It's like you get satisfied because you know it, like, you know it inside out. It's like your city or town. It's trucking. And yeah, I mean, just a short episode. Let me know what you'd like to talk about in terms of theme-wise. I'm more than happy to accommodate and sort of like, you know, answer some of the questions as well if you have any questions. And well, till next time we see each other, goodbye and happy trucking.